Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here and enjoy our content, feel free to subscribe to our channel and be sure to click the little bell that way you never miss a notification. Today we are doing things a little bit differently. You may hear background noise. Our son is playing and also watching cartoons. We weren't able to get him down for a nap today, but we needed to film this video today, so we're just gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Today we are going to be doing another response video to another DID channel, and we watched this video by Braided Bunch. I may have said their username wrong, so please correct me if I said it wrong. But we are responding to one of their videos that they made a while back, and it's on DID online versus real life. And when we watched the video, we really connected with it. So today, basically, we're just going to be responding to different sections of their video. We do include footage from their video in ours, and we do not take credit for that. We don't own any other content. We will have the link to their video in the description below if you guys want to go and check that out. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started.
Today we're going to talk about DID online versus real life DID. Where they differ, why they differ. So I think the one that everyone kind of starts out talking about and that a lot of people get angry about online is the costume changes. And people are like, well, that's not what it's like in real life, and you're glorifying or romanticizing or making a spectacle out of this disorder or whatever. I'm not saying whatever to discount those concerns. I'm just trying to think of the language that people use. It's pretty simple when you break it down. If you see someone doing a TikTok dance online, usually they're going to have a lot of makeup done, their hair done, be wearing a nice outfit or whatever, probably not in their pajamas. Of course, that's not always going to be true, but a lot of the time. It's like that, but with self-expression. This is when you're sitting here alone, even if a lot of people like to be like, well, you're not alone because you're posting this to thousands of people. And it's like, yeah, but when you filmed it, you were alone. You were in a space where you could take the time and decide, okay, yeah, I want to present as myself right now. I want to be able to express myself as myself right now. And like just before doing this video, we were wearing a tank top that was really low cut. And normally day to day, I wouldn't change out of that because I'd just be living my day-to-day life. But now I'm deciding to make a video where I'm going to be talking to y'all. Y'all are going to be watching this. And not only that, y'all are going to be watching this knowing that it's me. I want to feel a little bit more comfortable and like me if I'm actively unmasking, and letting you know that it's me talking to you. I want to feel a little bit more like I'm expressing as myself, rather than sitting here and talking to y'all in like a really low cut, loose tank top. Like obviously when people switch daily, you're not going to suddenly switch in and have a whole wardrobe change. That's not going to happen regularly, at least. But there's nothing wrong with people wanting to take the time to put themselves together in a way that feels like them before making a video. And that's not misrepresenting the disorder. No one's pretending like that's how it works daily. And if they are, that might be misrepresenting the disorder. But it's okay to dress as yourself and to do makeup as yourself and to put a wig on to feel more like yourself before you make a video to thousands of people, letting them know, hey, this is me that's talking to you.
So the first thing that they discussed was costume changes. We would have different styles of clothing to help our alters feel more comfortable while fronting if we could afford it, and if we had the space for it, like enough room. At the moment, we don't have affordability, nor do we have the space for everyone to have their own items. But if we could, we would. But in terms of oh, we may switch like 5 or 6 times in a day. We wouldn't change clothes like every single time we switch. Like, that's not realistic. Honestly, just because we don't have the energy to be changing clothes that many times in a day.
Another thing that varies a lot we see between on life and on life and real line, online and real life DID, and that's how long switches take and how long dissociation lasts. And a lot of the time, this is also not necessarily between online and real life. It's more between alone and in front of people or with people or presenting in some way. Like, it would be the same if we were just in a group of people talking, or like at the grocery store talking to someone, than in our room alone. When you're in front of people, you're going to force that dissociation to pass. You're going to force that switch to go through or to stop. You're going to try to expedite things. That will often leave you exhausted. Oftentimes with a headache, it doesn't feel good. It's much nicer when you're alone and can just let that sit and let it take its time. And then often dissociation switches can last hours. But when you're online, even if it is like you're in a space where you know that all these people are okay, and you know that, like, I know that y'all know that we have DID, and I know that y'all would probably be totally understanding if we took a long time to switch. If we're on a live stream and we're going to switch and we make the decision not to end the live stream, we're not gonna just sit here and like be comfortable letting it take 2 hours. We're gonna try to actively be like, okay, let's move this through. Like, it's just an internal pressure that we feel to keep it going, because we also feel like we need to be talking to you, and we can't just sit there and be quiet and ignore y'all for 30 minutes. Even if you say it's totally okay, it just internally doesn't feel like that. So a lot of what you see online is going to be quicker, and maybe therefore a little bit more startling and a little bit more like noticeable than if it was taking its time and running its course in the normal time frame in day-to-day life, when you're not talking to thousands of people. So that's just kind of a natural thing between being in a kind of presenting, even if it's not masking, like hiding the DID, masking like I'm talking to a group of people, so I have a presenting mask on. It's just, the time frame is going to be different than how it is day to day when we're alone.
Another thing that was discussed was how long switches take and how long dissociation lasts. Switches for us have lasted seconds to minutes to hours, and dissociation for us has lasted minutes to hours to days. We wouldn't film our like 3 hours of dissociation or 1 hour of switching, obviously, but if we did and we shared it, we would obviously, you know, like speed up the video and then let you guys know, hey, this is how long this actually lasted. We wouldn't share like a 3-hour long video with you guys, like just on us like dissociating or something.
Functioning versus non-functioning time. The reality is y'all aren't going to see our non-functioning time because we're not going to get a video of it, at least not likely. And when we are in a non-functioning time, if we do somehow happen to plan or be able to like somehow catch it, whether it's just a not really functioning time or whether it's a really low, first of all, it's a lot easier to talk to someone and be like, oh yeah, we had this happen the other day. It was really intense. We had a panic attack, than to show them you in the middle of that panic attack. That's incredibly vulnerable. Brain. Even if we are able to catch those moments and be able to share them with you, the issue is we have tons of people all the time being like, you're glorifying this disorder. You're not showing the negative sides of this disorder. You're not showing us, like, you're just showing us when you're functioning. And it's like, first of all, that's all that realistically we can easily get to you. That is going to take a lot less emotional vulnerability to share. And then secondly, when you are able to somehow catch that and share that, you get attacked, like really bad online. The culture online is not a welcoming one to being vulnerable. It's already very vulnerable just to talk about these things, but once you show it, it automatically gets met with doubt, questions about how you were able to catch that on video, doubting that it was real, accusing you of making it up, accusing you of like, oh, well, you don't have enough to be upset about, like, what about these other people? Like, just all this stuff that gets so messy and is attacking you when you're already sharing such a vulnerable thing that it's not something you want to do. So we can talk about it. We do talk about it. We will continue to talk about it all the time, how hard this disorder is and how much of it is non-functional time for us and how much of it is really, really dark. But realistically, that's just not something we can or are going to be showcasing, at least not often. So you guys do see our functioning time, which a lot of the times is not much of our time. But that's all you see, so it seems like it's always.
Another thing that was discussed was functioning versus non-functioning. We agree with Braided Bunch that it's easier to talk about the hard times than it is to like actually show it. When we have flashbacks triggered or having a panic attack or we've woken up from like a nightmare or a night terror, we don't instantly think, you know, oh hey, let's get this on camera. The main thing that we're focusing on, like all of our energy and effort, is to like get ourselves out of that episode and make sure that we're okay. Now at some point whenever we film our day, week, or month in our life videos, those episodes might get caught on camera. What we'll plan to do is keep a constant footage filming basically on specific areas of our home, and in those areas, if we're in those, you know, spaces when we have an episode, then yes, it will be included in a video. But like, will we always like film a flashback or a panic attack? Probably not.
Announcing who's front. Remember that when we're here, we're in a space where you know that we have DID and we know that you know that we have DID. And not only that, but almost all of the conversations we're having online are surrounding DID, surrounding trying to help people understand what we're going through, like they're surrounded with us trying to share our experience. So when something happens with our experience, we're going to verbalize it to be able to bring you guys along with us and to help you understand what's going on. In day-to-day life, we're not always in that kind of teaching mode. We can't be. And there are times when it's just a lot easier to just not announce yourself or to mask or to whatever. And I'll get a little bit more into in a little bit why it can be easier to be ourselves around you guys. But oh my god, now I'm like stressed that I'm not going to remember to tie that together. Fuck it. Anyways, yeah, in day-to-day life, we don't announce who's front as often as we do here. But not only is that kind of the culture of what we're doing here and what we're talking about here and the purpose of us sharing our experience here. Corey, you're very cute. But also, we know that you guys are going to be asking. So even if someone hasn't asked, if we're like on a live stream and something happens and we switch, we're going to anticipate that someone in the chat probably was wondering if we switched and probably caught on to it and is going to be asking, so we'll let you know. Even if they haven't asked already, it's just kind of a gut like, oh yeah, we need to let you know what just happened because people are wondering.
Another thing that was discussed was announcing who's front. So not everyone is comfortable announcing themselves. We as a whole may not be comfortable with announcing ourselves verbally, just due to the fact like the environment that we live in may not be like okay for us to like be like, oh hey, this is who's out. But we've come to an agreement, at least for our channel for right now, that while we're filming, we will put up like in the corner the title or something, like little words on the screen basically, and like let you guys know who's fronting, put a little bit of information about that altar that's fronting, and like if there's a switch, we catch that on camera, we'll show that switch, and then we'll also let you know who switched out.
Another thing that's a little bit different between online and real life DID, and I'm going to use our headmate Roxy as an example of this, that like she can't express how she feels about things online in the way that she will day to day, because she doesn't front that much. And so the rest of us are the ones who have to, especially Charlie, is the one who runs everything online and who's going to have to clean up people's messes if they make them online. Roxy has a lot of really strong feelings and opinions. If someone says something, she is going to be very likely to want to jump at it if it's something that she doesn't think is okay. We have certain rules and guidelines that she is not allowed to go past online, that in real life, she's going to break those. She's going to do something different if it's in our day-to-day life. But online is its kind of own thing that we have our own rules for, because people on the internet can get so obsessive and can get so nasty and can be so not understanding. And everything online stays online. So if she says something and it's something that we wouldn't have said, people are going to take that and they're going to use that against us. So she has certain rules that she can't break when we're online. And she's pushed those. And maybe someday she will. But those are the kind of system rules we have set up. Whereas in real life, if you said something to her that got her rubbed the wrong way, she would be a lot more herself.
So like with aggressive alters, or like alters that may come off as like rude or mean or something, in social media, having rules online in regards to who can respond to what is like really important, and we have those kind of rules set in place for our own system. So we do agree with what Brady Bunch said about like them having system rules in place for specific alters when it comes to socializing on social media. Our main thing is like, say for an example, like if a comment is fronting, she's pretty aggressive. Sometimes she gets really annoyed easily, and her like 0 to 100 on like anger is just like boom, like it goes really quick. So like the main thing when it comes to her is like she's allowed to post and stuff when she's feeling annoyed, or like, you know, share how she's feeling and express herself that way. But when it comes to like conversating with people on social media, she doesn't do that, and honestly she's not interested in doing that anyway, so like it really works out for her. But that's her like main role, like to not lash out at others, to like if someone comes at them, then they step back and, you know, don't respond, and stuff like that. This little guy wants to say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's such a cutie. Oh, really? Yes. Oh, really? Yes? Oh.
So, connecting back to what I was saying before, in real life, and this is something we notice more and more, you're always at square one with people. That's one of the really incredible things about being online, is that y'all have been with us for a bit. A lot of y'all know us pretty well. And if there's someone new who doesn't know much about DID, we can just direct them to other things we've created. They can go watch those and we can continue on. So we're able to move a lot further with being able to be ourselves and being able to talk to y'all and be open. Whereas conversations with people in real life, unless it's someone who you're like super close to, most of the time it's always starting back at like, so have you heard of dissociative identity disorder? Yes. No. Okay, well, have you heard of multiple personality disorder? Yeah, so it's the same thing, but it was changed in like 94 or whatever because of these reasons and blah, blah, blah. You're always starting from that square one. So that's one of the really incredible things about being online, is we can move past that square one and we can continue on that journey. And we just don't have to always be at the beginning. And because of that, we're able to unmask to a deeper level than we often will default to in day-to-day life, which is why a lot of the times in day-to-day life we won't necessarily announce who's front, because we're in that place of expecting to need to be at square one, and we're still in that, like, we are much more covert in day-to-day life than we are here. We make the choice to unmask while we're here, but the amount of times that we'll switch and we'll just mask, even if we're around people who we're totally comfortable with and we know they wouldn't have an issue, a lot of the times it takes less effort to just stay masked. This is a place where we actively choose to make the effort to unmask and be ourselves with you, because we're trying to show you our lived experiences and talk about what DID is. In our normal life, most of our effort and time isn't focused directly on what DID is. It's just living our life with DID.
So the last thing that we also like agreed on was like when it comes to real life, you're always starting at square one when it comes to like explaining things to people, but like online, obviously you can like redirect people to certain things if they're new or don't understand something. Totally agree with that. Yeah, hi. Hi. He likes to play with our fidget toy. Anyway, thank you all for watching. That's all we have in response to Brady Bunch's video. I can't say that username right, like, whatsoever. But in response to their video, that's all we have. We do agree with it. We found it really helpful. So yeah, just thank you guys for making that video and giving us an opportunity to respond to it. And for everybody else watching, thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.